Hello students, welcome once again and I hope that you all are keeping good health and are preparing sincerely for your exams. Today I will discuss about the digestive system in human. So digestion means breakdown of food stuff or the complex substances that we take in our food into simpler and diffusible forms. This we all understand. So this process takes place through the alimentary canal, and what actually happens in the digestion of starch, the starch is converted into glucose, the polysaccharide is broken down into monosaccharide, and the proteins are broken down into amino acids finally, and the fats are converted into fatty acids and glycerol. So the process starts from the mouth itself by the churning, grinding, and your cutting, tearing, of course, by the teeth and the tongue. The mastication of food takes place, and it mixes with the secretion of salivary glands, which is known as saliva, and saliva contains your salivary amylase, which is also known as ptyalin, and it converts the starch into disaccharide, that is maltose, the intermediate part, before it is converted finally into glucose. So this digestion of starch takes place, and now the food that we have taken is ready to enter into the esophagus, the food pipe, which will lead to the stomach. So the food will now travel to the stomach through the food pipe. In the stomach, what will happen? So the digestion of starch has taken place, has started in the mouth. Now in the stomach, what are the things which are there in the stomach? The gastric juice is secreted by the stomach walls. The hydrochloric acid is there, HCl, and some mucus are there on the walls. So the gastric juice secretes the enzyme pepsin, which breaks down the protein into peptides and peptones. So digestion of protein is also taking place here in the stomach, and the HCl kills any bacteria or pathogen which has entered through the food. The mucus which is there on the walls will prevent the erosion caused by the presence of HCl on the walls. So this is happening in the stomach, and now this bolus of food which has entered in the stomach is now become the chyme. This food is now semi-digested food is now called chyme, and chyme is acidic because HCl is there, and in the acidic medium only pepsin can work. Pepsin can be active only in the acidic medium. So this acidic chyme is now entering the small intestine through the sphincter which is called the pyloric sphincter, and then the chyme which has entered in the small intestine will be acted upon by various enzymes which are available in the small intestine. So on the right side there is a liver, on the left side pancreas is there. They are also contributing. These glands also contribute through their secretions. So bile is produced in liver, which comes into the small intestine. And bile, what does bile do? Bile emulsifies the fat, the bigger molecules of fat, into smaller parts. And then bile also converts the acidic medium into alkaline. The acidic chyme into alkaline chyme, so that the other enzymes can be active now in the intestine. So this is the function of bile produced by the liver, and then pancreas is also contributing through pancreatic juice, which is having amylase, pancreatic amylase, for further breakdown of starch into maltose, and then trypsin for further breakdown of peptides and peptones, and the lipase for the breakdown of fat into fatty acids and glycerol. So this pancreatic juice is also providing important enzymes, you have to remember, students. And finally, the digestion is completed in the small intestine, in the later part of the small intestine, where intestinal juice secretes its own enzymes. There the digestion of the starch will be completed, because maltose, in the presence of maltase, it will be converted into glucose or fructose, and similarly lactose, in the presence of lactase, will also be converted into glucose. So like this the intermediate part, the disaccharide, will be converted into the monosaccharide finally in the intestine, and the proteins, that is the smaller parts, peptides and peptones, will be finally converted into amino acids in the intestine, and fats will also be finally converted into fatty acids and glycerol in the intestine by the enzyme lipase. So these enzymes are again secreted by the intestinal juice, and so the digestion is completed here. So you have to remember that where the digestion is completed, students, it is completed in the small intestine. So now the food is completely digested, but there are some undigested part of the food also which remains and enters in the large intestine, where the breakdown is not taking place, further breakdown is not taking place, only the water is absorbed, excess water is absorbed from the undigested food in the large intestine, and then the remains in the form of feces are excreted out of the body, are expelled out of the body. So this is the process of digestion, students. You have to remember in a very simple way. And after digestion, there are finger-like projections in the small intestine, as you know, which are called villi. So they absorb the digested food, and then there are lectins, which are your lymphatic ducts. They carry the digested fat, that is the fatty acid and glycerol, into the lymphatic system, and the villi, which have collected the absorbed carbohydrate, that is the digested starch and the digested proteins, that is the amino acid, and they carry this to the liver through the hepatic portal veins, and there the assimilation takes place. The sugar, the glucose is converted as glycogen and stored in the liver. Similarly, the proteins are there in the form of, they are broken down into amino acids, so they remain in the system. They are not stored. And fats, digested fats in the form of fatty acid and glycerol, are there in the lymphatic system and are brought back into the mainstream. So these assimilation also has taken place. How do we use this digested and absorbed food? That is assimilation. So this is the complete process, students. I hope this will help you in your preparations and in the process of remembering the digestive system in human. So thank you very much and hope you are preparing for your exams. So wish you all the best. Thank you once again.